Hi there, good evening. Welcome to State of Affairs here on GH1 Television. I am Francis Abban. It's another Monday night, and of course, here on State of Affairs, when it's a matter of national concern, you can be sure that we will discuss it and discuss it thoroughly with the right guests and the right issues and the proper context brought to bear in our discussions. Tonight, we are focusing our attention on development in Garu and in Tempane up north. Over the weekend, something very, very unusual happened. The town of Garu saw military men pull out almost every meal they could find in every home, and there was a demand. Tonight, we will explore what happened. We'll speak to those who were pulled out at dawn and their experiences. We'll talk to the member of parliament for one of the areas for Tempane. She'll join us for a discussion about what's going on the ground. We'll also find out from government why this action had to be taken. And we've seen the statement by National Security justifying this action. We'll look into it to see if this is worth justifying or not. We'll explore that. Plus, we'll pick the thoughts of some security minds and experts on a holistic assessment of the situation. Could this have been done in a better way? Could the protocols have been better managed? And could the excesses have been curbed in all of this? So that's how we'll come around to this discussion by the time we're done. So thank you so much for joining us here on State of Affairs. The show is brought to you with the kind of association with MTN. MTN is everywhere you go. And MTN has to remind you that imagine being rewarded for doing something you already do every single day. Sounds too good to be true, I know, but it's actually true. That's exactly what MTN is offering you with the Momo season. That's what it's all about. There's something for everyone. Download the Momo app on the Play Store or App Store, and then use Momo Pay for your day-to-day transactions to a merchant, either through the QR code or merchant ID, and stand a chance of winning 1,000 Ghana cedis weekly and other amazing prizes. Our merchants are also not left out of the reward. Receive payments and win. Keep using your Momo Pay on the Momo app and get rewarded. There are lots and lots of exciting prizes for everyone. So what are we doing today? We are transacting more with Momo Pay. Earn more points and win big this Momo season. You can visit Momo Merchant application at mtn.com.gh for your Momo for Business account today. It's Momo season, so just Momo it with Momo Pay. Terms and conditions do apply. MTN is everywhere you go. Also from Core Mixture, the human body has natural defenses that fight disease. However, once these defenses are compromised, it allows for all kinds of infections to attack the human body. Well, Core Mixture is that herbal medicine that supports the human body for your general well-being. It comes in a colorless liquid form. Take Core Mixture for your general well-being. Get a bottle of Core Mixture today and restore your health. Core Mixture is available in pharmacy shops, over-the-counter medicine sellers, and health shops across the country. Core Mixture is produced right here in Ghana by the Core Research and Manufacturing Company Limited. It is not recommended for pregnant women. It is not recommended for nursing mothers, and is not also recommended for children who are under the age of 12 years. This advert is FDA approved. For bulk purchase, call the following numbers, pay your location. Cape Coast 0244726611, Accra 0249778187, in Kumasi 0249739116. Core Mixture for your general well-being. So tonight, as I said, we're looking at the never-ending military brutalities against civilians as Garu becomes the next destination. That's where we're fixing our attention tonight. If you are watching us in Garu or anywhere around the environs, or if you are from Garu, we'd love to see your thoughts or hear you on this matter. You can drop a comment on our live stream on our Facebook page at GH1 Television, and you can also join in our conversations tonight here on the show. So joining us tonight for our discussions in the studio with us is the government spokesperson on governance and security, Palgrave Danquah. Palgrave, good evening to you. Thank you for joining us.
Francis.
Good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We're also joined tonight via Zoom by Enoch Anaba. He's a morning show host for Noninya Radio in Tempane. He's a victim, one of those who were beating up to pulp by the military over the weekend. Enoch, thank you for joining us. Good evening. Okay, we'll also be joined by Lydia Lamisi Akanvariba, the Member of Parliament for Tempane. She'll join us also via Zoom. And also Dr. Adam Bona, a security analyst, will join us in our discussions tonight. So I guess we can start off with... Okay, so I guess we can start with the Member of Parliament for Tempane, Lydia Lamisi Akanvariba. Good evening to you, madam. Thank you for joining us. Can you hear me, Honorable? Good evening to you.
Cherished viewers and listeners.
Right. Thank you so much. Great. Thank you. I can hear you. Thank you for joining us here on State of Affairs. First of all, per the briefing you received from your constituents, what exactly happened on Saturday, and for people who are in your constituency, and how this operation was handled?
Thank you for having me this evening, and good evening to yourself, your cherished listeners and viewers. Yeah, I was waking up in the early hours of Sunday around 3 a.m. with a distress call that some military men in uniform has entered into the constituency, beating people here and there. I thought it was just my constituency alone. Then I spoke to the Garu MP, and he also confirmed the same story. And as we speak, a lot of people have been beaten, brutalized, maimed. Some had minor injuries, discharged, and they are back home. Others are still hospitalized. About few people have been referred to Tamale. And we are still on. We are still on.
I see. In your area, Tempane, how many of your constituents were picked up and brutalized and are receiving treatment?
They are not picked up. They were beaten wherever they were found. They go to their houses, they go to wherever they are, and they just beat them. For instance, a woman was waking up in the morning. She opened the door and they asked her, "Where's your husband?" She said, "Oh, I don't know where he is." They broke into the house, found the man, beat him, beat the wife in addition. But if I'm not mistaken, in my constituency, there are about 50 plus. I'm still taking stock of those people they have really beaten. Some have been treated and discharged. I'm still taking stock of those that are still in the hospital. Because we don't have a hospital, they are basically chief's compounds and maybe clinics and private clinics. So I'm still gathering information about the total number of people. But currently what we have is about 50 plus.
Wow. 50 plus persons who have been brutalized. What kind of injuries have they sustained?
Yes.
Do you know?
Oh, if you look at it, some of them had injuries on their face, their backs severely beaten. Unfortunately, we had a teacher who had respiratory distress. You don't know how he was beaten, but he actually had respiratory distress on that day. He was brought to one of the clinics here, and they couldn't treat him, so currently he has been referred to Tamale. But there's another one that they referred this morning, and I'm trying to find out what has actually happened, what was the diagnosis, and he was also referred. But there are others that are still in the hospitals, even some have broken legs, bad eyes, blood eyes, various degree of injuries.
Wow. Wow. And in all of this, how would you describe this action that was taken against your constituents? Before I try and get some more answers from the government on this.
It's condemnable, it's uncalled for, and the most shocking aspect of it is that, my brother, if according to their press release or the letter they have sent, something happened in Garu police station. People who are 20 kilometers away from Garu police station were beaten and maimed and brutalized. For instance, from Garu police station to Bugri is 20 kilometers. I am in this constituency, it's 20 kilometers. What have those people got to do with what has happened? And another question that we should ask, national security, the military, the police force, NIB, they have ways of gathering intelligence. Maybe the military want to tell us that this country, we don't have ways of gathering or gathering intelligence or investigation, which could have been done by those organizations that can do those investigations, those information gathering, than to go and beat innocent civilians the way they have beaten them. So in the morning, I was trying to find out what really went wrong. If really what the National Security Minister told us, an occasion in Garu police station as warrant that military should go as far as 20 kilometers. They should tell us what they gathered from or what investigation they have done, and they have to go that length into Tempane to beat the people.
Okay. All right. Honorable, please hold for me, and thank you for that rounded assessment of what has happened over the weekend. Let me now speak to Enoch Anaba. As I mentioned, Enoch Anaba is the morning show host for Norninia Radio in Garu, in actually Tempane, who was also picked up at dawn and brutalized. Enoch, good evening to you.
Good evening, sir.
How are you tonight?
I'm feeling not too good, but yes, I would speak.
Okay, so remind us what you've been through. What happened?
Yes, a lot actually went into this, and as I speak to you, I'm still responding to treatment. Hello?
Okay, Enoch, you said a lot has happened and you are receiving treatment, but tell me exactly what happened to you for the benefit of our viewers watching us tonight. What happened?
Okay, yes, let me say a wonderful good evening to all viewers of GHTV, and to also narrate the ordeal of what I term brutality that occurred in my locality here, where innocent people were picked up, including myself. I was actually sleeping as at around 3 a.m. getting to 4 a.m. in the morning yesterday, where we realized that some security personnel were really knocking on the door, and that we should come out. So we came out I came out to actually check, and I realized there were security men, military men, and asked that all the men should come out. So my two other brothers joined us. So as we were just on it, all we heard was, bring out the guns. That was what they said. So we told them that we don't have any gun in this house. So they asked us to lie down, and that was where the entire incident started. They started beating us, hitting us from any angle, asked us to roll. We started hopping until we now moved to a place I would call a collision center of the serious brutality that I experienced. I have never seen this kind of details before. We were all there, and before we got there, a lot of people were packed up already in lines, and they were asked to lie down in fours. So we also joined that kind of queue in lying down. And it was just from one meeting to the other, all sort of things were used, and even as I speak to you, they asked us to raise our legs, and even inside our legs, they were using hard kind of fish to hit on them. So walking is equally my problem as I speak to you. And a lot went in. People got so injured that we actually did not understand. And the surprising side of it is we really didn't understand why this kind of operation came in the first place. We were rushed after the brutality, which lasted for more than 2 hours and some 30 minutes, because it started around 3 a.m. and it was around 6, where they now released us and asked us to run for our lives.
What?
In this country.
And did I hear you say the military men told you to run for your life from where you were sent?
After the brutality, they actually now asked us to stand up, and they formed some two queues. Yes. So they formed two queues and asked us, okay, now run for your life. Yes, we are leaving you to go. And they keep hitting us with the wounds. That was what was happening.
You were told to go and told run for your lives, and you started running,
Yes.
and they started following you and beating you up.
That was the thing. They said run for your life, and that it means that they are leaving us to now go.
Wow.
Yes.
How far is where you were sent to your home?
From where I stand, it's close to it's more than 200 kilometers.
200 kilometers. Where were you sent? Do you know where you were sent?
Is it?
I'm saying from your home to where you were sent. You're saying it's about 200 kilometers. Where exactly were you picked up from, and where were you sent? Do you know?
I am located and residing around the Garu Tangazugu area.
Mm-hmm. And you were sent where?
We were sent around the Garu Community Center.
Wow.
Yes, from the Tangazugu area close to the Garu District Circuit Court to that area.
And you were told to run, and you were followed and beating up.
And the barbaric aspect that we also experienced, or I experienced, was they keep hitting my head.
They kept hitting your head with what?
With stronger wounds, and that they want to see blood.
You heard them say they want to see blood.
They want to see blood, and that has been the thing. My two brothers, I can confirm that they have wounds on their head.
Oh dear.
Yes, I heard them saying, and they keep hitting me. As I speak to you, my head, I can't tell you the state of it, but I don't have blood on my head.
I see. Have you been assessed as to whether there's any internal bleeding at all?
Well, yes, I have assessed it, but...
Have you gotten medical care?
Yes, I have attended some medical checkup, and they supported it.
And was that at your cost?
No, actually, the parliamentary candidate for the NDC, the parliamentary candidate actually asked us, he supplied us some medications for NDC.
I see. Supplied you medications at the medical facility or at home?
Yes, those at the medical, that was at the medical center, Garu PV Health Center and Rabito.
I see. I see.
Yes.
So with all that you've been through, Enoch, what are you telling the military and telling government about what you have experienced firsthand?
All I have.
Enoch, can you hear me?
Yes, you are asking me as to whether what I have to tell government.
What do you have to tell the military and the government about what you've been through?
Well, with this serious barbaric act, I would have wished to say that the security should be more alert, because the sole life of our country depends on the security level. We depend on them for everything. So if we are experiencing this problem, we believe that with the security intelligence, they should do more than this. But if it's coming from them, and few people which they claim or certainly see that they are having firearms in their houses, or certainly those that went to the police station to fire the national security vehicle, how many are those that we have them now being treated? Because we have over 200 people being affected. So
Okay.
that is where I have a problem. So I am praying or saying that justice should also be done, and the government should also look at that. I happen to have people that will support me, but other people very, very poor, even old men. As I speak to you, 2 people have been transferred to Tamale Teaching Hospital for medical checkups.
And these are people who are aged.
Is that?
These 2 persons, are they young people or they are aged?
They are aged. Another one cannot even afford the medical bill. So that very person is over 70 years.
Over 70 years?
Yes.
I see.
So it's a serious thing, sir.
Enoch, I'm so sorry for what you've been through. And I do hope that for the wounds you have sustained, you do get the healing you require. Please stay on the line for us. We're also joined via Zoom by Dr. Adam Bona. He's a security analyst joining us this evening. Doc, good evening to you. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, and thank you for having me.
We've heard from one of the persons who was brutalized. Enoch, we just spoke to him. We heard from the MP in Tempane, who says the incidents for which the men accosted the vehicle of the national security personnel was at the Garu police station. But people as far as 20 kilometers away were beaten to pulp. We're learning that 2 persons who are aged were all beaten and are going to seek medical care at the Tamale Teaching Hospital. Many of them have been traumatized and brutalized. What's your own reading of this operation that was carried out by national security?
Well, Francis, I tell you what, this operation, there are some fundamental questions I asked this morning when you interviewed me on your network on Star FM.
Yes.
My point is that why is it that it is the national security that is issuing a press statement? Is the ministry, is the defense or the armed forces, are they under the national security? The national security is now a ministry, and the defense, we have the Ministry of Defense. And so if this was properly done, I am believing, and I believe that we would have had the Ghana Armed Forces issuing their own statement, or we would have had the Ministry of Defense issuing their own statement. This was an orchestration of, what do you call that? What's the name? The national security. And because some national security operatives were accosted in the Garu area. And mine is that let's even assume that when they accosted them, they beat them up. I'm not saying that is what happened, but let's say that is what happened. Do we say you use wrong to pay wrong? At what point did we throw away the 1992 Constitution? At what point did we say that an eye for an eye is what we must practice in this country? And so as far as I am concerned, just like the gentleman who spoke before me, if you were in the area to retrieve firearms in the hands of people, you go at 2 a.m., break down doors, beat people, and, old men, children, women, beat them up. And they went as far as to Bugri, and Bugri is far away from Garu. So my point is that what were they there for? And like I have been asking, the Vice President of the Republic is supposed to be in the area between today, tomorrow, within the week. And so did anyone plan this to coincide with the Vice President's entry of the Upper East? It is as if to say that we are not aware, Francis, that the area is so volatile. Because then, if the national security is preaching that when you see something, say something, then the question I have asked repeatedly, is that at what point did see something, say something, metamorphose into something else, and people getting beaten left and right? So these are the questions probably I've been asking, Francis.
All right. And I'm hoping that tonight, per our deliberations, we will get some answers to these questions that you have. Palgrave Danquah is with us in the studio. He is the government spokesperson on governance and security. Palgrave, good evening to you once again.
Very good evening to you, Francis.
So, why did the national security send military men into Garu, into Tempane, and beat up everybody in sight? We've heard the stories tonight. Why visit mayhem on citizens?
Francis, a very good evening to you and very good evening to your viewing public. Let me begin by expressing sympathies to the affected persons, and we wish them the best in their healing processes. Whilst I provide some context into it, the national security released a press statement, and I'll just seek to read that.
I can read that for you so that it helps with our conversation today.
Please, if you don't mind.
So on Tuesday, 24th October 2023, an Irish youth group called armed with AK-47 rifles, machetes, and other weapons besieged a team of 5 counter-terrorism intelligence officers deployed by the Ministry of National Security in Garu in the Upper East region on a critical special operation. Despite initial attempts to introduce themselves as national security personnel, the Irish youth group proceeded to attack the officers by firing multiple gunshots at the back at a black Toyota Land Cruiser in which the officers were seated. Following an escalation of the attacks on their vehicle, the officers drove to seek refuge at the Garu police station. The Irish youth subsequently pursued the officers, encircled the police station, and fired multiple shots at scene with the intention of killing the officers. The timely intervention of the Ghana Armed Forces enabled the safe evacuation of national security personnel from the Garu police station. Further to the aforesaid development, the National Security Ministry and the Ghana Armed Forces on Saturday, 28 October, conducted a joint operation in Garu to seize weapons used by the perpetrators of the attack on the national security personnel. A number of the perpetrators have also been arrested. The Ministry of National Security deems the attack on the security personnel at a police station highly unacceptable and strongly condemns acts aimed at intimidating and harming officials of state security and intelligence agencies and impeding them from effectively executing their mandate to safeguard the peace and stability of Ghana. Whereas the Ministry of National Security works to promote active citizen participation in safeguarding the peace and stability of our dear nation, deliberate acts that seek to jeopardize the lives of personnel of state security and intelligence agencies will not be countenanced. The ministry owes it a duty to protect personnel of state security and intelligence agencies who have sworn an oath to, at all times, defend the people and the territorial integrity of Ghana against all forms of threats. I'll let you respond to this statement shortly, but let's go for a short break. And when we return, I'll ask questions based on this statement that was released by National Security, and also in the context of all that we have heard tonight, the accounts of the victims and the questions that have come up from Mr. Adambona and the Member of Parliament. We're back after the break. Stay with us.
There are many ways to get around, but there's only one way to pay.
Momo?
Sure.
So many styles to choose, but there's only one sure way to pay.
Momo? Yes.
There's so many you can buy, but there's only one sure way to pay.
Momo?
Yes.
To share my enemy.
There's so much variety, but there's only one sure way to pay. There's so many ways to get together, but there's only one sure way to pay. Got a payment to make? Use MTN Momo and enjoy real convenience in all your financial transactions. Live life the brighter way with MTN Momo. Just Momo it.
MTN.
How
Make your mark. Pa, 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 pa.
Express yourself, Charlie, rise and grind. Express yourself, Charlie, rise and grind. If you make slow, try this, my guy. Take one, take two, drink them every day.
Storm energy. Storm energy. Make your mark.
Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine.
Rise and grind. If you make slow, try this, my guy.
Advert is FDA approved.
Water is life. Water gives life. Water moves through nature in a never-ending cycle. Observe the beauty of water as it flows all around us, refreshing and restoring. Gaze in wonder at the stillness and beauty of nature. There's harmony in nature everywhere around. Water revitalizes the body and keeps you going strong. Water is life. Water gives life. Drink Awake Purified Drinking Water, one for life. So relax and unwind, and in the calmness of nature, find the rest you desire. For every bottle of Awake you buy, an amount to be donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is a DA of
Mommy.
Michelle,
Fe.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Chocolate Toothpaste, healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Chocolate Toothpaste, Sankofa.
Yenchi, Kel Chocolate Toothpaste.
Happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Right, thank you for joining us and for staying with us here on State of Affairs. Tonight we're discussing the developments in Garu and also in Tempane. Many have been brutalized. We've heard the harrowing accounts tonight from one of the victims, from the MP, and also from the security analyst, asking questions as to why this has happened and why all of this mayhem has been visited on the people of Garu and also in Tempane. Palgrave Danquah is the government spokesperson on governance and security. Palgrave, why
Francis,
the citizens have to go through what you're seeing? I've read the statement.
thank you.
You talk about people attacking a national security vehicle. The car shepherded to the Garu police station. The people surrounded the area. That was earlier in the week. So this operation to go and retrieve guns, did they have to include brutalizing every young man who was asleep at 2 a.m., move them out, send them to the community center? Is that what warranted this brute force?
So, Francis, we are having a conversation tonight.
Yes.
About the national security and also about Garu Tempane.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some historical antecedents that have been ongoing, and it's important that we inform ourselves about it.
Not to fast track. I've read the statement. For our viewers.
Yes. The statement is fair and good from our ministry. Just to recall some historical antecedents and how it is important for the national security of Ghana to ensure that continually our fight and threats against terrorism is harnessed. I mean, you asked a critical question of why national security officers and intelligence agents were doing in Garu Tempane. The real goal was to track terrorists that we had picked up intelligence about. And so we were in that environment to make sure that terrorists do not invade the country that we so love. But let me give you some historical antecedents. On January 23rd, a police constable called Regina Anganu was shot dead.
In Garu?
At Habitat. And I'm just giving you a historical...
I just want to be sure this context is relative to Garu.
No, the context is important. I mean, so...
Is this the context for Garu? I just want to be sure.
It's a historical context.
Of Garu?
Of incidents that have occurred.
In Garu?
Of incidents that have occurred.
In Garu Tempane?
Of incidents that have occurred within the region.
All right.
On 3rd April 2023, an immigration officer was shot dead at the Bawku Municipal Assembly, opposite the ambitious filling station. On March 16th, 2022, military men came under attack at Bari in Bobi. On the 7th of December 2021, defense intelligence vehicles were burnt at Sapon Garu checkpoint. On 21st of September 2023, a police escort was shot at Bewa College of Education in Pusiga. On 13th May, an ambulance that was carrying people were attacked.
13th May this year, last
2022.
year? Okay.
Were attacked at Basua Binduri. I think these are important things. On 24th of October, 5 national security operatives, I mean, as you have read, were attacked in Kusasi, Garu Tempane. Now, these antecedents are antecedents that does not augur well for our state institutions and even people that are supposed to protect lives and livelihood. The issue is not supposed to be oversimplified, but to ensure that these were civilians who were armed with rifles, AK-47 rifles, civilians.
Were they registered or were they illegal arms?
Not registered.
Not registered?
Yes.
How many arms did you retrieve?
We retrieved, I think, I would come to that, but we retrieved about, was it 8? Yes, we retrieved about 3 AK-47. 3. How
many people were picked up?
We picked up 15 people.
No. Are you sure it's 15 you picked up?
Between 12 and 15.
Because, how many people were sent to the Garu Community Center? The men who were rounded up and sent, and then Francis, those who were arrested.
Yes, so Francis, let me give, I mean, obviously a lot of people were sent because, I mean, we did a cording and a searching. So let me give the basis, and then I'll come to these figures because I have all of them here. I just want to give the basis. I mean, so that Ghanaians that are viewing will have an appreciation, because your topic says that military brutalization and the next destination. Well, that's not what it is.
Well, the accounts we've heard.
Yes, but that's not what it is. It's important that we have.
Are you saying this gentleman who has narrated his account was not brutalized?
No, that's not what I've said.
Okay.
That's not what I've said. What I've said is that it is important that we don't assume that the military goes out there to harm civilians. That's not what.
That's not an assumption. The evidence is clear.
No, that's not what it is. I mean, so and I think that it's important that we expand the conversation a bit more. So the Garu Tempane area, usually market women from Sankasi go to Togo and they go and buy things and they come, and the people in the community would either ambush them, kill some of them, steal their things. So it's a consistent thing that happens within the community consistently, that civilians are brutalizing their own community people consistently. Why? Because our neighboring countries, and I do not want to mention any of the neighboring countries, but our neighboring countries have had threats of terror in terms of terrorists have invaded those countries, and so there are influxes of those terrorists that comes into our country every now and then.
So these 15 you arrested are terrorists?
No, you see, you don't have to immediately go into that because there are a lot of verifications that go through. As we speak now, we are transporting about 8 of them to come into Accra for further investigations to go on before you can be able to identify.
But did you have to beat up all the people
whether there are terrorists
before narrowing down to these 8 that you have arrested?
No, you see, when the military...
Because I am here to hear you tell me whether these attacks or these beatings that we've heard you do or these officers did is justifiable or it's not. Is it?
The beatings are not justifiable.
Is it condemnable?
The beatings are very condemnable.
Have you condemned it as a government?
Francis, we are having a conversation.
Yes.
Okay.
And it is my job to ask you.
No, yes, obviously.
Yes.
Obviously. I mean, I don't rule that out. But it's important that as we are having the conversations, we bring out the veracity of the issues. The veracity of the issues are that these are civilians who have inflicted assault on our national security intelligence officers.
The 8 you've picked up?
Yes, the 8.
Not the 200 who were brought to the center and beating up and told to run and go home.
Because you see, every now and then, national security receives intelligence. We went into the area and we picked up rifles that were in the hands of civilians.
You picked up 3 rifles?
Yes, I mean 3 rifles. 3 rifles.
Now, in picking up these 3 rifles,
in
picking up these 3 rifles, did they have to take? And see, and the question I'm asking is this: of course, by all means, national security has a job to do in dealing with threats that harm our security. But did they have to be done in this manner, where people are picked up at dawn, moved to a community center, and we've heard a journalist give his account of being beaten with so many other things. People saying that I want to see blood, and then they are made to get up and say run and go home. Is this proof of an intelligence operation, or this was to show the people of Garu that you do not attack our national security officers, and so we are showing you brute force?
No, this is not the Ghana forces showing brute force. I mean, you know that.
Then what is this?
You know that, you see, Francis, when military comes into an environment, their training are extremely very different. Now, in terms of intelligence, when military come and they tell everyone to lie down, it's a protocol, it's a process to be able to see who would attempt to resist. Because anyone who would attempt to resist, you can immediately know that the person is a part of a team. So immediately...
So anybody who resists is part of it?
No.
How is that protocol? It's not a protocol.
No, you see, Francis, you are not a security...
Palgrave, well, I'm not a security personnel or operative, but I do understand how these things work.
I'm explaining to you, I'm explaining to you when the military come in and they tell you everybody lie down. I mean, and it happens all around the world. When police come into your environment, they want to be able to...
The police won't tell you to lie down.
They tell you to lie down everywhere.
To lie down on the floor?
Everywhere in the world.
In Ghana?
No, everywhere in the world. I have some friends in the US who armed robbers went into their home. They reported it to the police. The police came to his home. The police told him, lie down bare flat. Because when you lie down bare, you can't have any arms on you. And so, Francis, we're having a conversation around people who are civilians who are holding AK-47 rifles. I think that should be a major concern to every well-meaning Ghanaian. It should be a major concern. We appreciate the issues that have happened, the brutalities. We have condemned the act of that. It is important that as we condemn those acts, our states apparatus and national security protects the integrity of the country.
So for those
who are aware,
I get that. So for those who've been brutalized, is the state going to take steps to have all of them properly taken care of and compensated, especially for those who you did not arrest, who are not found guilty of any crime whatsoever and have been brutalized? I just want a clear answer on that before I go for a break.
Francis,
will that be done?
Francis, you're asking a question whether those that have been brutalized will be taken care of by the state.
Yes. By the military. Brutalized by the military.
No, Francis, you see, when you put it in that way,
I'm not putting it in that way. No, I am saying it's as it is.
No, I said that, and I'm not here to defend, but I'm here to provide clarity.
Yes.
And the clarity is important.
And the clarity is the question I'm asking.
Yes.
Will those who've been brutalized? Yes, you have arrested 8.
We have
3
arrested.
rifles retrieved.
Yes.
Good job. But for those who
the military does not go out, the military does not go out with an intention to beat people.
But they've done it.
That's not the intention.
But the evidence shows they've done it.
Yes, but that's not the essence.
Intent or not, it's been done. So what will be done for them?
Francis, They are taking care of themselves, are they not?
They should take care of themselves?
No,
After being beaten up by the military?
as we speak now, they are taking care of themselves.
And they should go ahead?
No, as we speak now, Francis, they are taking care of themselves. Are they not?
And that should be enough?
No, but I'm saying...
I'm asking what the further steps will be. Will there be further steps for those who are arrested? Who are beating up?
We are looking into it.
Okay, let me go for a break now. When I return, we'll also seek some more clarity on the way forward in addressing the situation in Garu, and also the concerns that the manner in which such operations are conducted is leaving a sour taste in many mouths, especially for citizens. We're back after the break. Stay with us.
There are many ways to get around, but there's only one way to pay.
Momo?
Sure.
So many styles to choose, but there's only one sure way to pay.
Momo?
Yes. There's so many you can buy, but there's only one sure way to pay.
Momo?
Yes.
To share my enemy.
There's so much variety, but there's only one sure way to pay. There's so many ways to get together, but there's only one sure way to pay. Got a payment to make? Use MTN Momo and enjoy real convenience in all your financial transactions. Live life the brighter way with MTN Momo. Just Momo it.
MTN.
Water is life. Water gives life. Water moves through nature in a never-ending cycle. Observe the beauty of water as it flows all around us, refreshing and restoring. Gaze in wonder at the stillness and beauty of nature. There's harmony in nature everywhere around. Water revitalizes the body and keeps you going strong. Water is life. Water gives life. Drink Awake Purified Drinking Water. One for life. So relax and unwind, and in the calmness of nature, find the rest you desire. For every bottle of Awake you buy, an amount to be donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
The new football season is here, and it's best seen on HD Plus in 5 times crystal clear images. See the new signings, jerseys, silky skills, and great goals. Catch the DFB Pokal, J1 League, and the Argentina Copa de la Liga Profesional on Score HD channel 151. The rest of African football on JTV Sports Plus channel 150. World football is best seen Philly on HD Plus. Grab a decoder and subscribe for 3 months at 85 Ghana cedis per HD Plus. See it, feel it.
Water is life. Water gives life. Water moves through nature in a never-ending cycle. Observe the beauty of water as it flows all around us, refreshing and restoring. Gaze in wonder at the stillness and beauty of nature. There's harmony in nature everywhere around. Water revitalizes the body and keeps you going strong. Water is life. Water gives life. Drink Awake Purified Drinking Water. One for life. So relax and unwind, and in the calmness of nature, find the rest you desire. For every bottle of Awake you buy, an amount to be donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, my friends. My name is Calcate Toothpaste. I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored, So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Make your teeth stronger. Ticky ticky whiter. Ticky ticky stronger. Yay! You did it.
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel Kids. Happy smile.
Thanks for staying with us. You're watching State of Affairs here on GH1 Television. I am Francis Abban. So tonight we're discussing the developments in Garu. Our guest joined with us in the studio, Palgrave, Danquah, the government spokesperson on governance and security. Dr. Adam Bona is also with us via Zoom. Lydia Lamisi Akanvariba is a member of parliament for Tempane. Enoch Anaba is the morning show host for Nonyere Radio in Tempane, who was a victim, one of those who were picked up at dawn and beaten up by the military officers. So we've talked largely about how these brutalities have put a lot of people in panic and in fear in Garu and this environment. But what are the threats that national security is so seeking to neutralize that they've had to beat up so many people to get to the bottom of?
Francis, on a daily basis, the people in Garu Tempane live under threats of their own friends, their own sons, their own daughters, their own neighbors who have rifles. I said that when the women from Sankasi go to Togo to go and buy things and they are coming, they are attacked on a daily basis. We are concerned, and I'm very certain that the MP is also concerned that her own constituents are living in fear. It is as a result of that the national security of the Republic of Ghana is not sitting aloof and with gathering of intelligence on a daily basis goes to ensure that these persons that have been perpetuating these acts put it to an end. Francis.
So these guns that were retrieved,
when civilians,
are they from a terrorist cell? Are those you have arrested, are they from a terrorist group in Burkina Faso?
Francis, these guns that have been retrieved have come into the country illegally.
Where from?
You see, Francis, these things borders on security, and it also borders on bilateral relations.
But I'm also,
yes,
it is openly clear that the threats of terror in Burkina Faso is well documented.
Yes,
is that where this is coming from?
Francis, you see, the reason why I'm restraining myself from emphatically stating these things are that we are talking about security issues. On security issues, there are things that can be said and there are things that cannot be said.
I'll ask one more. See,
there are all people that are.
Is there a terrorist cell in Garu as we speak?
There's no terrorist cell in Garu.
Those who were picked up, are they connected to any terrorist group?
Francis, when you pick up people, anybody can be from a terrorist group. People in Accra can be from a terrorist group. People anywhere in this country can be from a terrorist group. You pick them and you have conversations with them. Then you can be able to identify which group they belong to or de-identify that they are not from any group.
How this has been handled? There are some who've asked for the National Security Minister to go because this was not properly handled. What's your response to that?
This was very properly handled.
How these people were beaten up?
No, Francis, you see, we shouldn't just look at the brutalities and add our emotions to the conversations.
What else should we add? These are citizens who were brutalized.
These were citizens who had unregistered, unlicensed rifles who were hunting their own inhabitants.
Who was beaten up? Did he have a rifle?
Who was?
Okanaba we just spoke to tonight.
Francis,
did he have a rifle? He didn't have a rifle.
The environment where we coded and searched were almost an environment that was filled with lots of criminals. The environment that was coded and searched.
But Enoch, who was there, who was picked up, was he a criminal?
He was just an unfortunate victim. He was just an unfortunate victim. The environment that was coded and searched is just like coming into Greater Accra and going to a particular place where you know there are hardened criminals there and somebody finds himself there. You are just a victim of circumstances. So Francis, if we are not being hard we are not wanting to say that we are not understanding their emotional sentiments. Yes, it's unfortunate that these issues have happened. But when you want to crack down crime, you crack it hard.
So this does not warrant the National Security Minister to be fired.
How does the National Security Minister need to be fired? The National Security Minister needs to be applauded.
For what has happened?
No, you see, for what has happened, for ensuring that the lives and livelihood of the people of Garu Tempane is under safe scrutiny. For ensuring that.
What's the guarantee that the military will not go back into Garu this week?
The military
to retrieve more rifles and arrest more people.
If there are more rifles, the military will go back and retrieve more rifles. Because you see, a rifle in the hand of an untrained military person or a security person is more threat. It's more treacherous. And we must look at that. Those are the issues that we must raise.
Okay.
When I wake up every single day, we want to make sure that this country is safe. This country is protected. We want to make sure that citizens can move in and out. When you go to Garu now, people are living in fear, which is why the presence of national security there and the Ghana Armed Forces and the Ghana Police and the rest of the security services, the immigration is important. So whilst we talk about the emotional brutalities and we condemn the act, we must also look at the people who live there, whose life and livelihood continually under threat because their own citizens are harming them. Their own citizens are harming them. That's very, very important. And we must look at that.
Let me bring
in 2021, if you recall, there was a mining committee that were attacked. They attacked some mining communities. So there's continually a lot of things. We need to put it in context so that we also appreciate the work that the security services do. Because security services do not just go out to want to brutalize people. Security services always want to ensure that we protect the lives and livelihood of the vulnerable. That is key.
So these incidents that we've seen clear threats and people. Now, the question I asked earlier that I didn't get an answer. Yes, you said if there's threats again, you go back. But for those who were unfortunately caught up in this, will the state provide any kind of compensation for what they have suffered?
Francis, the state will look into a lot of issues that happen in the country.
Would this be considered? Would they get compensation?
We are still having conversations, Francis.
Would they get even an apology for what they've gone through?
Francis, I have stated that we condemn the acts.
Are you apologizing to the victims tonight?
Oh, I apologize to you victims for what you have gone through. We need to crack down criminals. Criminals must be cracked down. These are unfortunate victims, but we need to crack down criminals. Criminals must be cracked down. And there are no-go areas in this country for our security apparatus. There are no-go areas for the national security officers and intelligence officers. There are no-go areas. Every single part of this country is opened for our national security officers, for our security officers, for the Ghana Armed Forces, for the police, for the immigration, for the customs, to ensure that they go to ensure that they protect the lives and livelihood. And so these attacks of police stations must stop. Attacks of police persons and persons in military uniforms and security uniforms must stop from civilians.
Otherwise, we'll see more of this.
That's not what it is. It must stop.
Otherwise?
No, it must stop.
Otherwise?
We'll keep cracking down criminals.
And we'll keep seeing these excesses.
We would crack down criminals. We will call and search and pick up ammunitions that are not supposed to be there.
Okay. Palgrave, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Francis, for that.
That'll be it for us tonight here on State of Affairs. Thanks to all of you for watching. The show is brought to you with the kind of association of MTN. MTN is everywhere you go. It's the Momo season, so keep conducting and transacting more with mobile money, and you will stand a chance of winning amazing prizes. 1,000 cities and weekly prizes going up. So all you have to do is download the Momo app on the Play Store or App Store and use Momo Pay for your day-to-day transactions to a merchant, either through your QR code or merchant ID, and stand a chance of winning 1,000 cities weekly and other amazing prizes. MTN is everywhere you go. Thanks for watching. Thanks on behalf of the entire team. Thank you for making the show possible, and to you for watching. Hope you've learned a thing or two tonight, and let's hope that things get better for tomorrow. Good night.